Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. Greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Saturday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Down below, make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. I hope to see everybody tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 Eastern Time. Doors open. Note 4:30 is bell time. At 4 o'clock, doors open for Scrappy Championship Wrestling in Royston, Georgia. Love to see everybody there. But tonight, I want to do another 2026 college football team season preview. And as always, it's very, very random. I really couldn't decide who to do tonight. I've did two of these already. I've already did one for Florida State and one for LSU. So I was thinking about when earlier in the week I did my video where I talked about all the teams in the Power Four conferences predicted win total, and you had a few of the high profile teams who are picked to win 9.5 games. That way you have to either say under or over, and if you pick over, then they're going to win double digit games. And of course, if you're a high profile team and you win 10 games, you're going to the playoffs. And I thought, why don't I talk about one of them and see if I think they're going to go over or under that 9.5. So I picked Penn State. Now, Penn State, of course, is now led by Matt Campbell, who is now their head coach, coming over from Iowa State, and their offensive coordinator also comes from Iowa State. His name is Taylor Mauser. And they got a couple of quarterbacks who are battling to be the starting. I think it'll be Peyton Falzone, but I could be wrong. Guys, they have high hopes for in the future. But we know last year, Aller got hurt, and then a quarterback came in and took his spot and played the rest of the year. And with Aller graduating, you assume that the guy that came in that played the rest of the season will be the starting quarterback, but he transferred. And of course, this day and time with the transfer portal the way it is, everybody transfers. You're liable to, start for one team one week and then very next week say, I think I'm going to transfer. So he transferred, so they have a couple of incoming freshmen. I think it'll be Peyton Falzone. But let's see if I think they're going to go over 9.5 or under. Now, they open up with the 3 non-conference games season. September 5th, Marshall. September 12th, Temple. And September 19th, Buffalo. And their 3 non-conference games are out of the way. Now, of those 3, honestly, really, truly, none of them are any good. But now, Temple had some good years, back in the day. There was about a decade or so plus where Temple had so much success that every time they got a big time coach, he got called to another school because he was doing so good at Temple. Those days are gone now. They're not good anymore. But I guess the best of those 3 teams will probably end up being Marshall, and I don't think they're going to be great. But after those 3 non-conference games, they start conference play on September the 26th. Hey there, Kyler. Glad to have you here. But Wisconsin on the 26th wraps up the month of September. Now, I figured, just so everybody knows, I'll tell you of their 9 conference games, which ones are home and which ones are on the road. They've got 5 at home and 4 on the road inside the Big Ten. Kyler, we're talking some college football. Glad to have you here. If you want to join the discussion, be fantastic. Open up the month of October on the 2nd with Northwestern. Then they play USC at home on October the 10th. And then October 17th, they go to Ann Arbor, take on the Michigan Wolverines. So far, Wisconsin home, Northwestern on the road, USC at home at Michigan. Then they're off the following week, which is the weekend of Saturday, October 24th. Then they come back for 31st, Halloween, to play Purdue. Hey there, Khalid. Glad to have you here. Now we open up the month of November, go on the road at Washington on November 7th. And then they play Minnesota at home on November the 14th. Rutgers at home on November 21st. And then they wrap up the season going to College Park, Maryland, to play the Maryland Terrapins on November 28th. Some college football if you want to join the conversation. B. So 5 at home, 4 on the road. Now, to me, if you go back and look at Matt Campbell's history, yes, Matt Campbell's by far, not even close, the best coach Iowa State ever had. But it seemed like most years he lost a game he shouldn't lose. And most of the time when he was there, when Iowa State was supposed to be good, they weren't. And when they started the season with nobody talking about them, like they were going to be a 5 or 6 win team, they'd sneak up and win 8 or 9 games. So, will he be that kind of coach at Penn State? Nobody knows, but it seems like at Iowa State, most years they were picked to be good, they weren't. And most years they were picked to be bad, they were good. But, Penn State is picked to win 9.5 games. So to me, that would be a lot of pressure on Matt Campbell. Maybe I'm wrong, but, he's already got more pressure now than he ever had at Iowa State. But now you start, year one, when you basically, for the most part, have a whole new offense, especially at the skill position, because you lost both your running backs and you lost your quarterback and you've lost both of your receivers. So offensive-wise, you're pretty much starting over. So if they could get to 8 or 9 wins, I think most of their fans would be very, 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 very happy. Can they get to 10 wins? Possible. I don't think so. I've got them going 9-3 overall, 6-3 in the Big Ten. I think they're going to lose at home to USC on October the 10th. And then the other games I have them losing are on the road. Right before their bye week, after USC, they go to Michigan. And then on November 7th, they go to Washington. And they could easily win one of those and get to 10-2. I could see that, but USC normally has a really good offense. Their problem is they can't ever stop anybody. Supposedly their defense has improved, and Penn State's not just going to play somebody and beat them 45-42. It's just not going to happen. So because I'm not sold on Penn State's offense, I'm going to pick USC in that game, because I know even though USC doesn't play defense, USC can score. So there's no way I'm going to shootout in that game, and I'm going to pick Penn State to beat USC. Now, USC every year loses so many pieces on offense, but every year Lincoln Riley always manages to score points. He just can't stop anybody, and I just don't see Penn State outscoring USC. So I've got them losing that game, and then I've got them losing on the road to Michigan and on the road to Washington, only because Michigan, I think, is a better team than Penn State is. I think Washington is probably on par with Penn State. I'm not sure if they're better or worse. I think they're about the same caliber team. But, that's a massive road trip to the other side of America pretty much. And you never know about the weather. They have a very unique stadium with a very unique setup. Always love to watch their football games on TV, only because I think Washington has the most unique football field in all of college football. That's a long road trip, and because of that, I've got them losing to Washington. So I've got them losing 3 games at home to USC, and then on the road at Michigan, and on the road at Washington. So that's 6-3 in the Big Ten, 9-3 overall. And of course, you're going to have the Penn State diehard fans that are going to say that's not good enough. But to me, 9-3 in your first year, you should be happy about that. But of course, as I always say, in the grand scheme of things, the games I have them picked to lose don't matter. The end goal here is what's their final record. And if I pick them to go 9-3 and they go 9-3, then they're right where I picked them to be. Even if I get all 3 losses wrong, I had their overall record right. It's always hard to pick a team's win-loss record, but it's really hard now because of this transfer portal thing. You could look at a team's roster right now and think you've figured out who their starters are going to be, and then come September, it's totally different. So it's always been hard to pick teams' overall record, but it's even harder now. So if I get all 3 losses wrong, it doesn't matter. If I say they go 9-3 and they go 9-3, then they're right where I thought they would be. Any thoughts on any of this? Please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Hard to believe, but the astronauts were under no pressure to return. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you